Hey guys, Gretchen with Yoga and Herb. The first of our Nadi videos. Yeah, the first. There was a lot of info to go over. I don't want to bore you with like this billion-minute long thing. So, ancient texts say that we have 72,000 to 350,000 nadis in our body. This is true. We have all these little tiny nadis running through our body. But we're only going to concentrate on the three major ones. The three major ones, when they're in balance, all the other ones are in balance. So there is no reason to go over like little tiny nadis over here when we really need to be concentrating on the three main ones. Nadi is a Sanskrit word. It means flow, water, vibration. The three that we're going to concentrate on are the Shushuma Nadi, which begins at the root of your spine at the Muladhara chakra. And it will end at your crown chakra. It's represented by a figurative serpent coiled 3 times at the base. And eventually the goal is to get that serpent to rise, Kundalini rising, Kundalini Shakti rising up through the 3 Granthis knots. The 3 Granthis knots are psychic knots in your chakra system that are pierced when that Kundalini rises. You see why we're going to do more than one video now. So that's the goal, right? To get that Kundalini to rise. This is why we're doing Kundalini rising after the Nadis videos. I'm also on the front porch, so we're going to have some traffic. Hopefully I can get most of it out of the background noise. But it's a busy street today, guys. Don't know what's going on. Just some like random Thursday. Anyway, so the Granthis knots. Kundalini serpent, Shakti, energy pierces these 3 Granthis knots. These 3 Granthis knots will be Brahma, which is at your root chakra, Vishnu, which is your heart chakra, and Rudra, which will be at your 3rd eye point. That's going to be spelled Granthis. Please do some extra research on your own on those if you feel like it. I may or may not do a video. I'm not going to say I'm going to because I probably won't, but I might. Who knows? The other 2 are going to be Ida and Pingala. Ida is going to be the feminine, the left side. It also begins at the root chakra. Now, Shushuma, it runs a straight line, straight up. Ida does not run a straight line. It starts at the root chakra, but then it loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de through. Now, where it loops through, you hit that center point, that Shushuma Nadi, and chakras are formed. Same with the Pingala, the masculine side. Chakras are formed. Now, the Ida and the Pingala and the Shushuma all hit at certain points. The root chakra, the heart chakra, and you got it. The 3rd eye chakra. Ooh, the psychic centers. So those knots become a little more difficult to undo because you need to maintain balance or sattva in the body. Now, without sattva in the body, you have what is known as chitta vritti. Chitta vritti is chatter in your brain. It's worry. It's emotion. It's things that you don't have control of. You don't have control of these things, but ego tells you you do have control of these things. Ego says, yeah, so I owe this much money, and this is how I'm going to pay it back. Why is this how you're going to pay it back? I mean, why don't you just say, hey, I need the money to pay this back and see what the universe sends you. I mean, you don't have to pick up another 5 hours at work. You don't have to pick up an extra shift. Maybe if you put it out there without ego, without control, release that blockage, get that balance in there, some other form of income may present itself. Maybe you'll get some new Reiki clients. Maybe somebody will be just like, hey, so come do my house cleansing really quickly. I'll pay you extra because it's short notice. Stop putting limitations on yourself by your ego. So when your Ida and your Pingala are in balance, that ego tends to go away a little bit. But when you're getting them in balance, that ego is very present. So you have to be conscious of it and working on it. That being said, there is a breathing exercise that I highly encourage everybody to do at least a few times to see how it works for you, called Nadi Shodhana. Nadis. We're working on that. It's in the word, Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. I do have one video under the anxiety playlist, but we're going to go through this really quickly. I'm going to take in a couple of deep cleansing breaths first. Big, big belly breaths. Let them out. Just to get that body settled into the earth where you are. Hands up. We're going to put these two fingers down. We're going to use these two fingers to close the left nostril. And we'll breathe in. And we'll imagine this breath breathing in from our root chakra up to our crown chakra, the side body. Breathe it all the way in. And then we'll switch and we'll close our right nostril with the thumb. Now when we exhale through the left nostril, we'll exhale from the crown chakra to the root chakra. And then inhale back up. And then switch the fingers and down through the side body. And you could continue to do that for about 5 minutes. Put on a nice yoga timer, those little dings. That way you're not like abruptly boom if you're like get really into it. That breath work is meant to be done before your yoga practice, not after like the majority of breath work. It's also meant to be done on an empty stomach, so maybe before breakfast. Ida. The Ida Nadi is associated with Rajas, with the left, with the moon, with the Ganges River. Like I said, it does start at the root chakra. It ends in the left nostril. Nadi Shodhana breathing. Get that balanced. The Rajas, what does that mean? That means that we are quiet, that we are rest and restore, that our body is relaxing. It can also mean inertia. It can mean laziness, where we fold in on ourselves, where we get so overwhelmed with things, we just don't do anything. If it's like out of balance, it can mean that we are emotional, that we are crying all the time, that we're releasing this energy through our tears. So it's important to keep that balance with the Pingala. The Pingala is going to be the right or the sun. It is associated with the Yamuna River. These are sacred rivers in India. The Shushuma is associated with the Saraswati River. The Saraswati River, I understand, disappears. So that's pretty cool. And the Shushuma can only be really activated dusk or dawn, so it kind of disappears. Anyway, the Pingala is the right, the sun, the heat, the tamas in us, the action, the where you're like really excited and really aggressive about something. Now, I love it when you're really excited and really creative about something. You're like, yes, yes, yes. And you have all that extra energy and you feel that love flow and you're bubbling and you're just like, yay. That is sattva. That's bliss. That's balance. That's peace, right? You're very peaceful during those moments. So the next step is to keep that kind of balance, like to get that kundalini rising, get that Shushuma Nadi going, break through those granthis, psychic points, and get all this extra beautiful healing energy, get that bliss going, get those psychic points unlocked. And then see where your healing goes, not just for you, for your clients, for your home, for your environment, for the earth in and of itself. Because when you're healing and you're healed, that positive energy is going to vibe off of you and your every living thing around you. You know how some people can really bring a room down and some people can bring a room up? You're that one that brings that room up. And once you practice this and you've gotten these in balance, you'll bring not just that room up, but that whole building up. Your energy will be felt before you walk in the room. So until next time, we'll go through the nadis a little bit further. I think specifically we'll go through the Ida Nadi first, and then the Pingala, and then the Shushuma. And then we will start with our chakras. We're going to hit some of our chakras in between, because when the Ida and the Pingala Nadis cross the Shushuma Nadi, creates chakras, right? Until then, namaste.